Hi, hello, what's up, everybody? I am Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. In a stunning development, Micah Parsons requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys on Friday. The disgruntled Parsons took to social media to announce he no longer wants to play for Dallas after the two sides apparently failed to make any recent progress on a contract extension. Which teams could pursue him after his trade requests? We're talking about arguably the most dominant defensive player in the league right now. A lot of teams would be interested in bringing him in. So, no question, there are a handful of teams that would be all in on him. If Michael Parsons were to be traded by the Dallas Cowboys, let's look at 5 potential landing spots. I would have to think Buffalo, Vegas, Tampa, Seattle, Chicago would make an effort to get him. Could the Bears trade for him? I would be open for the Bears to offer a Khalil Mack-like trade for Parsons, who is only 26. If they wanted to, similar to the Mack deal, Bears offered 2 first-round picks and maybe some change for Parsons and a Cowboys second-round pick. I tell you, Sweat and Parsons would be the most dangerous duel in the league. Parsons opposite to Montez Sweat with all the Bears' other defensive line talent would be a problem for offenses. Imagine having Parsons on one side and Sweat on the other. That would be insane. Meanwhile, Buffalo would wager that the Bills would enter the Parsons sweepstakes. No guarantee they'll land him, but they're in, and there's a strong case that they will do everything in their power to at least make Dallas an offer. This is a team in contention now. The only thing with that is the Bills don't have the cap space now to make a deal and sign Parsons, but they can go all in for Parsons. When you see how close the Bills have come multiple times, needing a crucial defensive stop in several key games the past few years, especially in the playoffs, you think the Bills sit there and not make an offer? There will be an offer sheet sent. This offseason, Joey Bosa was a big name addition, and Greg Russo is a top tier rusher. But adding Parsons would take this defense to the next level. He would be the piece that pushed them to the championship. If we're talking about another team in the mix, it would only make sense to bring up the Cleveland Browns. Acquiring Parsons would likely require a massive haul, even if Dallas was ready to make a deal. They have enough assets to make a major offer if they choose. Now, the Browns' salary cap situation isn't ideal. They're still tied to Deshaun Watson's contract and committed to paying Myles Garrett more than $123 million guaranteed over the next few years. That would be a lot to pay two defenders, with Parsons likely seeking a deal that will reset the market at his position. But this is a team probably turning to a young quarterback this year or someone else next year. So loading up on defense should be the Browns' priority. A Parsons Garrett pass rush duel would also be unfair. Potentially one of the best. Garrett has been publicly supportive of Parsons' pursuit for a new contract. The Las Vegas Raiders trading for Micah Parsons would be a great move. Pairing him up with Max Crosby on a Pete Carroll defense could win the AFC West. That defense would be unstoppable based on what I saw Max Crosby do with no one really as fierce as him on the other side. And I understand why the Raiders are linked to Micah Parsons. They're sitting close to 40 million under the salary cap now and boast nearly 100 million in space for 2026. They're well equipped with draft capital. Wouldn't you call the Cowboys and say, hey, we can make you an offer? What do we have assets wise you would want? And I will go to my grave telling you I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded, if it's to the Las Vegas Raiders. Their financial flexibility positions them well for a potential blockbuster deal. I'm telling you, the Las Vegas Raiders, if you're the Raiders, you have the luxury of doing this. You have the ability to do what a handful of teams don't have the ability to do, and that's to upgrade your defense by adding arguably the best defensive player in the league. And their new GM has made it clear he's not afraid to make some bold moves. If there's another team going to enter into the Micah Parsons trade arena, it's the Tampa Bay Bucks. I feel pretty good about their offense. Their defense, not so much. There's work to be done on that side of the ball if we're going to talk about them being contenders. Adding Parsons is the kind of move that can put a team like the Bucks over the top. Having a bad pass rush has such a bad snowball effect on a defense. Pass rush was one of their biggest concerns, and of course, it didn't get addressed. Defense was stale because the pass rush was non-existent, but if you add Parsons, he can squeeze out every ounce of juice. They added Hassan Reddick this offseason, a nice pickup for them. The Bucks have the salary cap flexibility to take on a massive contract. And lastly, the Seattle Seahawks is probably a suitable destination as well. Seattle has a young defensive-minded head coach and Mike McDonald, top 6 cap space over the next 2 years, ex-Cowboys defensive lineman as their defensive coordinator, and they signed DeMarcus Lawrence this offseason, so there's some familiarity. The price might be as high as the Khalil Mack price was. I don't know if the Seahawks are ready to do something this big. Money is definitely the deciding factor for every player in the NFL, but I think Micah Parsons could be a part of something special in Seattle. Really, anywhere he goes, he'll be part of something special. But the Seahawks are building a juggernaut of a defense in Seattle, and Parsons could be a great player for them. As of now, these are the teams that I will be taking a close look at as we wonder and speculate on which team will trade for Micah Parsons, if a trade does actually happen. All right, everybody, take care. If you guys love the content, you guys know where you guys can find me. And make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit like and subscribe. And if you're watching this on TikTok, please follow me. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day.